Alrighty, so I have a voiceover video today, and I wanted to do a video on the guild boss scores, because you see like these teams that people can get up to like 60k points in, and realistically there's not a good reason to do that unless you're trying to push your knighthood or whatever, because if you're one of the top guilds for guild boss for the week or something, I think you get like a banner in one of the towns, and then on top of that, depending on how high your guild places, you'll actually get placed into guild wars as well. So unless you're just like trying to push for guild wars or something, you don't typically need to go for like a crazy high score like this, but I thought it was kind of cool, and one of the guild mates that I have was wanting to go for one of the banners, so I figured that I would, just run through it. He said it was super easy and everything. Obviously, the team is pretty dependent. We are using the LR Zeldris Red Monspeet, Viole, and the LR Elizabeth. And the reason for those is Liz's ultimate is really easy to just kind of recycle, and it gives you attack-related stats, which is awesome. Viole is boosting all of your buffs to do like 1.5 times. I think Monspeet is just there for the Ignite stacks from his ultimate, and then Zeldris is there for his ultimate as well. So one thing to note is that he was saying, for me specifically, I only have a 4/6 Liz. If I had a 6/6 Liz, it would be a little bit easier. And then for my link on Zeldris, I am using... I'm using Mael, and Mael is only 5/6. He said if it was 6/6, it would be a little bit more helpful, of course, because you get extra stats and everything. But for the most part, it wasn't like a deal breaker. He did say that there was a different link that I could use on Zeldris, but I can't remember what it is at this point. But also note that the card set that I'm using is the Demon card set for Knighthood boss specifically. So I did not have that powered up. I ended up powering up just for this. But then the other things that you're going to need to do is attack crit on Zeldris is preferred, of course, because you're trying to do as much damage as you can. And then Elizabeth, I think, is just on anything, like HP defense is fine. And then you want the HP buffs for Monspeet and Viole, but you're taking off the top pieces, so that way you're doing as little damage with them as possible. So you can see during some of this recording and everything that I am using, I'm taking the top pieces off, putting middle pieces from other people's sets on, just to make sure that I have the HP buff in general, but that is pretty much the idea here. I did end up even taking off the weapon pieces for Viole and for Monspeet, just to make sure that they are literally doing as little damage as humanly possible. Alrighty, so the last thing that you need to do is throw on some attack food, and you're pretty much good to go. So as you go in, I'll kind of try to run through some of this. Obviously, I did not record Dur's voice when I was doing this, and I probably should have, just to kind of remember exactly how this worked. But turn 1, you're throwing this Liz attack card out, both Monspeet cards. Make sure that you are targeted on the right arm here, and then you use the Zeldris single target to go ahead and get it out of the way. Nothing too complicated here. You're basically just going to be trying to set up the cards that you need, make sure that you're building up your ultimate move levels and everything, because you don't only need Zeldris' ultimate to do the big damage, but you need Monspeet's ultimate to put on Ignite stacks, and you'll also need the Liz ultimate as well to put on the attack-related stats from the ult itself. So it's not super crazy. It's just a couple of like turns, sort of like building up and everything. I think we are going to end up using extra Liz cards here just to get the ultimate move gauge. But the idea is, if you can get a level 3 buff card with Viole, it's preferred, mainly just because you really need to have a high level buff. If you don't pull the level 3 buff, it's actually not the biggest deal in the world. He was telling me that you can basically just throw out his ultimate if you can get the ultimate for Viole, and because he's not going to be doing a whole lot of damage, it shouldn't kill or anything, but you can ult with him, recycle his passive, and then rank up the buff card again that way. But obviously you do want to get a level 3 buff. So let's see here. I think we are going to go ahead and Liz cycle this turn, if I'm not mistaken, because we do still need to get the Zeldris ultimate here. We're using that single target on the shield, so that way we get the ultimate for one and get rid of the shield all in one turn. So we are Liz cycling. I don't think we have Monspeet ultimate in hand yet, so this is when he's actually going to ult you. It is preferred. He was saying that if you get ulted onto Zeldris, it's actually much better because Zeldris' Holy Relic will proc and give the whole team basic stats. That is like one of the only RNG aspects of this whole thing. So do note that that is the ideal case scenario, but it didn't happen for me, and I still got like a really good score. Like obviously I didn't get a 60k or anything, but I also don't have like the biggest ultimate level on my Liz. I don't have a perfect 6/6 Mael, so I was missing a couple of ult levels already anyway, so I wasn't shooting for 60k, just shooting for a good score in general. So going ahead and wasting a couple of extra cards here. We throw out the Mael, or the Monspeed cards, that way we can get his ultimate, and now this is going to be the turn where we're actually doing our setup. I think he actually may have... No, I don't think he did this on mine. I think I did an extreme run after this where he cleansed all my debuffs off, or my buffs off, which was incredibly annoying, but you can see here, we are going to do the setup. So we have all the cards that we need in hand. I think... I don't know what I think I'm just listening to Durs right here, so there's a little bit of a delay, but okay, so I'm using the debuff card first, which is lowering the defense-related stats, Monspeed Ultimate, buff card, and then Liz Ultimate, so that way I'll have all of my buffs and everything perfect. I did crit here. I think I ended up critting on my Monspeed Ultimate the first time that I did this, and it actually ended up doing too much damage, and it ended up messing up my first run, but this was the second run that I did, and it was, you know, completely fine. Like, obviously, hell difficulty, 70 stamina, you don't really want to be doing this like 1,000 times over, but it really wasn't too bad. So now we're in the perfect scenario. We have all of the buffs that we need on. He has a ton of ignites on. He has a defense-related stat lower on, and we have an attack-related stat buff. So we're just moving Zeldris 3 times to get a ton of crit damage increases using the ultimate. Durs literally was just like, okay, you'll probably get like 32 million, and I did literally 32.9. So he has a very good grasp on this thing. So in this section right here, you're basically just trying to kill him off as quickly as you can in the second phase. It's not really a huge deal either way. So just, you know, get rid of him, easy peasy. I think I do end up killing him in one turn here. So boom, into... Does this... No, this doesn't kill because he has invincibility for that first hit, but the single target does actually kill. So easy peasy on that. I mean, I think that was maybe just because I had some decent cards in my hand for Zeldris, but the first phase is really the one that matters the most, just doing that really big chunk. So 44.9, almost 45,000 score. That's definitely the highest score I've ever had in a Guild Boss season. I just don't really care to push for it. You can definitely use this setup as well, even if you don't get like the ideal buffs or anything like that, or you don't have the ultimate levels or whatever. Just doing this and getting a halfway decent, like, you know, attempt at it will get you more than enough to get all of the rewards, he was saying. So I think you need 9k for Hell, and you need 6k for the other difficulties, and you can get those very, very easily with this team anyway. So easy peasy, nothing too complicated to it. Obviously, you do need the specific team, of course, but if you want to push for it and you want to get, like, try to place for Guild Wars or something, this would be a good way to do that. So thanks for watching. See you later.